Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Aaron, and welcome to today's episode 3 of the Everything Technology series. Today's topic is on Linux and the command line, such as the commands that you run to navigate through the Linux operating system. What makes Linux such a unique operating system compared to, say, Windows, for example, is that Linux is typically used in just about everything that a typical person living today would use it, such as Facebook, Google, Amazon, Netflix, your cell phone such as Android and, say, the iOS Apple device, your iPhone, for example. All those use Linux or some flavor of Linux to a degree. And so if you stick with me in today's episode, this will be roughly about 10 to 15 minutes. I will show you some basic commands on how to navigate through the Linux operating system. So why don't we get started? Okay guys, this tutorial is going to begin assuming that you've already connected to the Linux server. If you would like to know exactly how, please let me know in the comments and I will happily show you how. And maybe following this actual tutorial, I will demonstrate that as maybe the very last thing. So currently I'm on this server right now, and one of the very first commands I instruct new users to invoke is the whoami command. This command just simply tells you who you currently are logged in on the OS. Type whoami, hit enter. This tells me that I'm the user CentOS, and that's perfectly fine. As a local account or as a user, I want to know, or as a new user, I want to know exactly where I'm located at on the system itself. Since you're really just dealing with text, you're not dealing with a graphical user interface. You really have to, be aware of where you're currently at on the system so you don't delete any system critical files. To determine where you're at on the system, you simply type the pwd command, also known as the path working directory, and once you hit enter, it'll tell you where you're at. So in this example, I'm currently under the home, the /home/CentOS folder. And that is just a folder for pertaining to the current user that I'm logged in as. The next command I want to run is the change directory command. It's also known as cd. And this is going to allow me to navigate from one directory to another within the Linux operating system. To do that, I type cd and then space followed by the destination I wish to go to. So in this example, I'm going to go to the temp directory, and then I'm going to hit enter. And I can tell I'm in the temp directory based off my prompt right here. It says /temp, or by invoking the pwd command, which should now be changed to temp. Now that I'm in the temp directory command, I wish to create another directory within it. To do that, you type mkdir followed by the name of the directory you wish to have. In this case, I'm going to type stuff. So if I hit enter, it creates a directory named stuff in /temp. To list the directory contents, the next command you will want to run is the ls command. And as you can see, it lists the directory stuff. Using the change directory command, I will change directory to stuff. And in Linux, you just want to be careful. It is case sensitive. So for example, if stuff had a capital S, I would have had to type a capital S before changing into that directory. So regardless, if I hit enter, I am now in stuff, which is now in temp. And if I type pwd, it should reflect that. The next command I'm going to run is the command that is going to allow me to create a file. And that command is called touch. And once you invoke the touch command, you want to make sure you give it a name and an extension. So I'm going to create a readme.txt file using the touch command. And actually I'm going to backspace here a bit and give README a capital R. Hit enter, type ls. As you can see, it created that file. If I wanted to expand upon the list directory command, list directory contents command, one way to do that is doing ls space -l, and this is going to give it a long form. This is going to give you a little bit more useful information if you're wishing to become a Linux administrator. For example, if I highlight right here, you can see that this is the permissions that this file, this readme.txt file has, followed by the owner of the file and the group that the owner belongs to, and then the date that the file was created, which actually should reflect when I ran this touch command up here earlier. I'm going to clear my screen out a bit just so I have more real estate to work with. And the next command I'm going to run is the command to remove the readme.txt file I just created. And that is the rm command followed by the name. And in Linux, you can actually tab complete. So if you type a couple words, or sorry, a couple letters, hit tab, it should tab complete, you assuming it knows what you want. So hit enter, it'll now show that that file has been removed. I'm going to change directories back to the temporary directory, and to do that, if I want to go one directory back, you can type cd space period or ... And that's just because I know where I'm currently at in this system. And originally I was in the /temp/stuff directory. But now I'm back at /temp. If I type ls, I should see the stuff directory there. To remove the stuff directory, you type rmdir followed by the name, and you can tab complete. So if I hit enter, this command will only work if there's no contents in this directory, which there shouldn't be since I removed the file I created earlier. Hit enter. Okay, now that we removed the stuff directory, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to look up and find hidden files on the Linux operating system. So if I type ls, I should have nothing in this directory, and that's true typing ls. Right? I just removed the stuff directory. However, if I do an ls-a, sorry, lowercase a, you will see that a number of directories or files appear, and these are hidden files. And in Linux, you can determine that they are hidden by the dot or the period that come before the name. If I want to format this better, and this is usually how I invoke the ls command, I type ls space -l to list it in long format, a to include all files, including the hidden files, and then h for human readable file size output. So if I hit enter, I get that. So I get the long format. Rather than the left and right, I get the up and down. And then I see human readable file size, right? And then hidden files as well, because these all have periods. So next I'm going to demonstrate how to elevate your user's privileges, how to copy a file, and then how to locate that file using the find command. To elevate your user's privileges, you want to type sudo su-, and that's using the sudo command. If I hit enter, I now become the root user, as you see highlighted there on your screen. And I set this up so it doesn't prompt me for a password. In most environments, and you may also run into this, it may prompt you for a password. Simply just put the password that you use to log into your system. Next, I'm going to change directory to varlog. And varlog on Linux systems, majority of them anyway, is where operating system log files are stored. So if I type ls-lah, which is how I like to invoke ls, you can see the files. You can see all the files present in var log. So what I'm going to do is use the copy command and copy the messages file to temp. So if I type copy messages, and I'm going to tab complete here, then /temp, and then I'm going to give it a unique name. So I'm going to type hello_YouTube. And I'm giving it a unique name, so when I invoke the find command later, I will get a result with a file located in temp. So if I hit enter, it's going to ask me to overwrite, and I initially did this in a cut prior to this, so I will hit yes to overwrite. And the copy command will prompt you to overwrite, so hit Y for that. And then the find command, type find space, and then I'm going to begin at the root directory. So this typing slash will start at the very beginning of the operating system, the root directory. And then if I do a -name, this is going to find any files by the name that I give it. And in this case, I'm going to give it hello_YouTube. If I hit enter, the result is the file that I just copied, which is located in the temp directory. Find also works with wildcard, so if I hit the up arrow and then backspace to hello_, hit star, you can also see that. So, and I can do this and get a number of files here. So all the files that begin with the letter H, for example. I want to narrow it down to say temp, the temp directory, and then give it, say, H, star there, and there you go. So in this example right here, I wanted to find any files beginning with the letter H in the temporary directory. So those are three commands: the sudo command to elevate your user's privileges, the copy command to copy files, and then the find command to locate. The last command I wish to demonstrate is the manual pages command, which begins with man, or better known as the man pages. And this is going to allow me to find out more information when I invoke a command I may be unfamiliar with. To do so, you type man followed by the command you wish to know more about. In this demonstration, I'm going to use ls. So if I hit enter, it breaks it down into a couple sections, the first one being the name of the command, which is ls, and then it tells me what the ls command actually stands for, a couple different words here. So it stands for the list directory contents. Under the synopsis, tells me how I'm going to use this command. So I type ls, and then I give it an option, or I can hit enter, which is what these periods indicate, or I can give it additional information such as, I want to maybe run this command against a file rather than all files. So like I mentioned earlier, I like to use the ls command with a -l, a, and h. And the -l stands for the long form, stands for list form. The A, as you can see right here highlighted, stands for do not ignore entries starting with a period, which tells me that that's going to include hidden files. And then the H is human readable. And I can do H right here, and tells me that the -H is human readable. So, and it says if I do a -H with a -L, it's going to print the sizes in human readable format, and then it gives examples of human readable format. Okay, that wraps up episode 3 of the Everything Technology series. I hope I demonstrated enough Linux commands to allow you to navigate through the Linux operating system. As this series progresses, I will continue on from this episode, and we'll just go forward from there. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to me on Twitter at AJG9K or using the YouTube comments listed below. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Company worked with Niantic to make this happen, and Niantic is known for their first game